Hey, everybody. The economic collapse was just canceled. That's right. I said the economic collapse was just canceled. At least that's what a lot of people are saying. And we're going to talk about the reason that they're saying that. First of all, my name is JJ. I'm your host. You're watching Bull, Boom, Bear, Bust, back with another dose of economic reality. All right, Bulls and Bears, let's get right into it. So, we do have a lot of numbers to go over today. There's a lot of messages I've been getting saying, JJ, what's going on? You said the economy was going to collapse. No, 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 no. I said if credit gets pulled back or if credit lines start dropping with credit cards, then you'll see the beginning of the economic implosion. But if they don't do that, in fact, if they keep increasing credit limits on credit cards, then you're going to see the economy continue to roll. But the problem is you're going to have inflation continue to go higher and higher and higher because we don't have enough manufacturing here in this country to match the purchasing power of all the consumers that are going so far and deeper into debt every month, right? So we're going to talk about all the intricacies of the economy, economic growth, everything else here. We're going to cover the topics for you. But first, let's bring up this article right here that quite a few of you have brought to my attention. They say, JJ, what's going on? There's supposed to be a collapse. No, I never said there was going to be a collapse. They could pump this market with so much liquidity. They could increase the credit limits by backing the banks and the credit card companies. They could increase the credit limits enough to where we see inflation really start to take off. I hope that doesn't happen. But to say it can never happen, that's not true. All you have to do is look at all the countries around the world where it did happen. Weekly jobless claims post the lowest reading since September 2022. A lot of people were surprised by that. And again, I got messages on that saying, hey, JJ, I thought you said things were going to take a turn for the worse. No, no, no. You've got to watch the videos and you got to listen to what I'm talking about. You can't just read the title of the video because a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put a title of a video based on what somebody else said. Look at the last video I put out. Let me just bring it up here real quick here. Was it Kevin Leary in the last one? Kevin O'Leary? Sorry, let me just sidetrack real quick here. Just to give you an example, because I have a lot of people saying that I predicted a collapse. Eventually, absolutely, there could be a collapse. But I've always said prepare for both directions. Prepare for inflation to get worse. Prepare for something to freeze up the credit markets, and therefore no purchasing power out there, and you'll see a decline. The last video I put out here about Kevin O'Leary. Sorry about the delay here, folks. I'm usually all set up. I usually have all my screens pulled up, so this is very unusual. Those of you that watch me every day know that this is unusual for me to take this long to bring it up here. I promise. All right, sharing the screen here. Example: the last video I put out, chaos is coming. That was the name of it. See it right there. But that's not my words. That's the words of this guy right here in the thumbnail, Kevin O'Leary, the Shark Tank guy. He says chaos is coming because commercial real estate is going to basically implode the banks. Could he be right? Possibly. But we've seen a lot of successful people predicting an economic downturn for years now, years. And I think a lot of them are very smart, but I don't think they understand I don't want to say the basics because they're not idiots. I don't think they understand how much money can be thrown at this problem to keep us out of an economic downturn slash recession, right? All they have to do is make sure that people have money to spend and the economy will keep chugging along. That can be via raising credit card limits to infinity. That could be stimulus checks. That could be checks being sent out for other types of programs that people sometimes have to depend on. And, that could happen. That could keep this economy going right along without a sign of a downturn. But when you look at the cost of living, it's going to get worse. It's going to actually get much worse than it is today. With the inflation fight is not over. In fact, inflation ticked back up the last month. And, things are going to be headed in that direction too, because something very important is going on here. And I just want to bring up a few articles here from the past few months and recent one here, just within the last 24 hours. Bank rate. Average credit card limit on a first-time credit card. It's increasing USA Today, this was a month ago. Why credit card limits are up. Rejections are up, but also credit card limits are up. Rejections are up because more people are applying for first credit cards, new people coming to the country, stuff like that. Back in September, growing credit card limits spending stoked Americans ballooning balances. Lots of articles about this here. So basically, what's happening is credit limits are being increased, they're not being decreased. And what does that mean? That means economic activity, that means jobs. The more people go out and spend money, of course, there's going to be more demand then for people working at the restaurants, for all the different places people swipe their credit cards and go into debt. It's going to cause a big surge in jobs. And, we also are past that point where we saw the big, what was the name for it? They gave it back in 2020, 21, 22, the Great Resignation. The Great Resignation's over. We did see a boom in economic activity because all the stimulus and money created, and a lot of people were quitting their jobs to try to go for greener pastures and make more money. So we saw this Great Resignation, but not so much now. In fact, people are holding on to their jobs. They're afraid to quit their job because of the cost of living, and they're getting record amounts or record numbers of second jobs and third jobs. People taking on sometimes part-time jobs, and we're also seeing a big surge in government jobs. That's a big portion of the jobs. 25% last month was government jobs. So with the government, they can go into endless amounts of debt. Of course, they're going to be able to grow the workforce by expanding government. Pretty simple, right? So of course, that's less people in the unemployment line, less people unable to find a job. So you're going to have that as a major factor. So what do you guys think about this? I mean, I think this credit card limit is pretty much the key to it. You see some areas where prices are coming down, automobile prices coming down, home prices coming down in some areas, not all prices though. There's still a lot of areas where prices are going up. And if you look at the nationwide number, everything rolled together, home prices are down still from the peak, but that was August of 2023. But they're up year over year. The thing about it is the year over year increase is actually getting smaller and smaller. So we'll have to see what happens this August when we compare August 2024 to the peak, which was August 2023. That's going to be very interesting. Of course, we'll be on it for you here on this channel. But some other information I wanted to get into today here. Another article I wanted to bring up here. It's not all bright and sunny news here. We've got Macy's cutting more than 2,300 jobs, about 3.5% of its workforce. They're also closing 5 stores. Now, some people might say, well, that's because everybody's shopping online. And I have to go back to the obvious that, people are shopping online, but they've been shopping online for decades. And yes, it's getting more now. People are shopping online more often. But to cut over 3% of your workforce because people are shopping online, you would think that online shopping was a new thing for that to be the only reason. I don't think many people are shopping at Macy's. I think people are looking for more deals. I was into a store earlier, one of these discount clothing stores, Ross, and it was like almost 10:30 at night. They closed at 11 in this particular location, and there was a lot of people in there, and it almost seemed like the holidays where people were rushing to buy holiday gifts, and it was busy at 10:30 at night. And people are looking for discounts. And Macy's, the last time I checked, Macy's prices weren't that good. Apparently, I guess maybe the quality's good with these clothes, or people like to go to Macy's because the ladies behind the makeup counter, maybe they like the way they look or something. I don't know why they go to Macy's. I never found anything that special about Macy's. I prefer the discount stores, the TJ Maxx's, the Ross's, the Burlington Coat Factories. Anyways, people are shopping online, yes, but does that explain the layoffs that we're seeing in retail? And I've said here, this is one area, retail in particular, is one area that I'm very bearish. In fact, I'm shorting retail right now, doing it through an ETF, and so far I'm up close to 20% on that trade. So I'll let you know how that goes. November, I think I mentioned that here in the channel. So to those of you that followed me on that, congratulations on your gain. We'll see if the gain remains. Also, we have to talk about this. We reported this a couple months ago, but why is this guy building a doomsday bunker in Hawaii? And why is he selling off so much of his stock? We also see Bezos with a lot of insider selling, a lot of big money out there, insider selling, right? So we can look for all these different hints and indicators of what might happen, but at the end of the day, it's all about the consumer's ability to go deeper into debt. Once that ability is taken away, once the rug's pulled on being able to swipe your card and go further into debt, in other words, once the credit card limits start dropping and once loans are shut off, the money spigot gets shut off, that's when you see the real economic collapse happen. It doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow, next week, next year. A lot of people say it's not going to happen, that we're just going to go all the way into hyperinflation, saying that the decision makers, the economic engineers, would rather see us inflate our way through this versus deflate instead of a falling price or crashing cost of living situation, because then you would have the recession be declared by 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth, and then people looking at it would say, "Oh my goodness, it's the leader's fault," and they would change the way that they view some of the leaders. But they don't want that to happen, especially in 2024. You know it, I know it. Please let me know what you think about this, folks. Thanks for watching. We're gonna wrap this up here. We'll be back ASAP with some more economic news. Please make sure you hit that like button, that bell notification. Make sure you are notified of new videos, and please do us a huge favor and subscribe and help us stay alive here on this channel, on this platform. It's not very easy nowadays due to a lot of things happening, folks. But we'll talk about that maybe at a different time. Keep stacking, everybody. Bye for now. Peace.